I'm Bree with Draw 10 Games. Thank you for joining us for a how to play video for Parenthood the Game. Parenthood the Game is a card game for 2 to 6 players, and the box says it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to play a round. This game is for ages 7 and up. So let's get started. The object of Parenthood is to get your kid out of the house. You score points in the hand by progressing your kid from preschool to elementary school to high school to living at home and hopefully to out of your house. You can stop your neighbor's kids by placing issues on their kids. And whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. Your game is going to come with 6 household cards. This is your game board. This is where you're going to move your children from preschool to out of your house. The game also comes with 2 decks, the work deck and the home deck. On a turn, you have the choice. You have 2 actions that you can take. You pull a card, and then you can play a card. You can pull from either the work deck or the home deck. Work deck has a certain set of cards, and the home deck has a different set of cards that you can get. But we'll go over the different types of cards in more detail shortly. Also in the game, you get 1 die, 1 6-sided die, and a number of chits that represent dollars that you owe or dollars on an issue. But again, we'll go over that in more detail when we go over the rules. So to get an understanding of how the game works, we're going to go through some of the cards. The first card that you have to play, and you have to find first to even get started in the game, will be a child. You can have a girl or a boy. There's no difference in the gender in the functionality of the genders. They just have that because you can have the 2 sexes you can have are a boy and a girl. You place your first card on the preschool, on the yellow preschool card, and this is the starting place for all children. In addition to these gendered cards, we also have special delivery cards. Now, a special delivery card is played by an opponent. If you draw a special delivery card from the work deck, you have to play it immediately, and that is your turn. And you can play it on any of your opponent's households, and they must start at preschool. This is a really good for strategy if you're trying to have someone lose points or not have as many points as you, to help make them lose the game. It's a great way to just throw out a special delivery card. We're gonna keep our child. We have a house rule. If you have a child, you have to name your child, and we're gonna say that our girl's name is Cynthia. All right, the next cards that we're gonna go over are graduation cards. So the object of the game, to review, is to get your child from preschool through elementary school, through high school, and then living at home and finally exiting your house. You move your child by pulling a graduation card that you'll find only in the home deck. When you pull a graduation card, you can move a child who does not have an issue over to the next stage. So since I just pulled that, I'm gonna move Cynthia over to elementary school. Now, the object of the game is to get your kid, if you really want to win, you want to get your child completely out of the house and home, out of your home, and off to a future that's bright and beautiful. It's very similar to the game of life in that way. So let's say our Cynthia is finished high school, is living at home. One of the many futures that she could have could be getting married. So if you pull this card, you can play it, and then your child has moved out of the house, would sit next to the household card, cardboard thing. The household board would move over in the household board, and now they have completed a future, and they are off, married, and you don't have to worry about them anymore. Well, that's not really true, but in the world of this game, that's how it works. So, the other thing that we have are issues cards. Now, let's say Cynthia's still back in elementary school. Now, your opponents can place issues on your children to stop them to be able to graduate. As I said before, the only way your child can graduate to the next stage is if they do not have any issues attached to them. So if I were to pull an issue card, if my opponent were to pull an issue card, they could put it on one of my kids. Now, each issue card has a border. These borders represent what color, what stage they can be played on. So this one, this temper tantrum card, has a yellow border. It can only be placed on a child who is in the preschool stage. School supplies, green border, elementary school. This one, a school dance, is a red card representing high school. You can play it there. Now, if a child is already living at home, they cannot be played on. No issues can be placed on a child that is living at home. Now, there's also these tri-colored issue cards. These issue cards can be played on any of the 3 stages. So that's all of the issue cards. Now, the issue cards can be resolved with resolution cards. So we're going to bring our Cynthia back to preschool. So say my opponent played a temper tantrum card on me. In the center, the suit for discipline needing issues is a ruler. I can resolve that issue with a discipline card that also has a ruler with a little kid in timeout. So now we've resolved that issue, and now I can discard it, and I'll discard this as well. And now if I get a graduation card, my kid can move on. Now, you want your issue cards to match. Your discipline card must match your issue in order to resolve it. Now, this issue, school supplies, needs money to resolve it. And that's the next thing that we're going to go over. Money cards. You can get money from the work deck. You go to work to make the money. You can, a way that you can play a money card is by banking it. You can bank a card by just placing it on the side of your household place card. You can add as much money as you want to your bank. Because if someone were to play an issue card like this, the school supply card, they'll play it on your hand and then they will roll the die. 1. So it's going to cost $1 or 1 money card to resolve this issue. So now it's my turn. I choose to resolve this money issue. I pay $1 and it goes away. The next thing that we have are hirelings. These are people that you can hire to resolve different issues. We have a nanny, a counselor, and a tutor. They represent 3 different types of issues. A nanny can give TLC, a counselor can provide discipline, and a tutor can provide education. These cards can also be banked. Now, we also have a special wild card. This wild card are grandparents. Grandparents can solve any issue, including financial issues. So you can hold on and then play a grandparent card when you can't find a TLC card, a discipline card, or you don't have enough money to handle one of your issues. You gotta love your grandparents. So let's go over how to play a turn. You're going to have 5 cards in your hand. At the start of the game, all 5 of your cards are going to come from the work deck. But now we're going to pretend like we've been playing for a little while. So we'll have a couple of cards from the work deck and a couple of cards from the home deck. At the start of your turn, you can choose a card from the work deck or the home deck. So I'm going to pull a card from the home deck. I pulled the graduation card. If you pull a card that says do not hold, you have to play it immediately. The graduation cards and special delivery cards all say that. Once you have that, you play it. So since this child has no issue, we'll graduate them on to high school. All right, let's have another turn. This time I'm going to pull from the work deck. Now when you play play your turn, you can do a number of different things. If you have money in your hand, you can bank it. This is a great way to be able to resolve issues quickly when they arise. Money issues can come up at any time, so you want to have a little bit of money in the bank just so you can be better safe than sorry. You can only bank one card at a time. Other options for play, I'll keep that there. Other options for play will be to play an issue card. I can't really play that one here, but you can play an issue card on a competitor's hand. You can also play another child. I can bring a baby boy into the situation and see how many points I can accrue with him. The other move that you can make on a turn is resolving an issue. Our playing with danger baby can be, those issues can be resolved with a discipline card. So I've resolved the issue, and now my turn is over. You have 2 optional moves that you can play before playing a card. So you can play this, you can do this after you've pulled a card. And that is, you can convert money issues. So I'm going to put down a money issue. So say that you have a money issue of, so this optional move that you can do in between drawing a card and playing a card is converting a money issue to debt. So right now I have a money issue that costs 6 monies. to resolve. So I can convert that to debt by placing this chit over to the side. And then the hospital visit card will go away, but I have a debt of 6 chits. The other thing that you can do in place of a move is paying a debt or resolving a money issue from your bank. So I have $1 in the bank. I can choose to pay a portion of my debt, changing this 6 chit over down to 5. And now I only have 5 more monies to pay for this debt. And then I could still go ahead and play another card. And I will choose to bank more money. So the hand is over once you have gone through one of the decks completely. So let's say we've gone through the work deck completely, and that's our discard pile. At that moment, you go through everyone's hands and you discard all the cards, and everyone gets to play all of the cards in their hand, and then we get to score. Scoring works like this. Any child that you get out of the house is worth 50 points. Any child living at home is worth 30 points. So any child with no issues attached to them in high school are worth 15 points. If a child has an issue on them, they are only worth 10 points in high school. In elementary school, a child with no issues is worth 5 points, but with an issue is worth 0 points. So this child, we're going to name Partario. He's worth 0 points because he still has a hospital issue on him. And then any child with no issue in preschool is worth -5 points, but with an issue is worth -10 points. So debt is worth -2 points for each increment of accumulated debt. So this 2 chit of debt would be -4 points. You also get points for any money that you have in the bank. So you have 1 point for each dollar you have. So we have 2 additional points. So you add that all up, and that's your score. The person with the highest score wins. Thank you for watching this How to Play video for Parenthood the Game. If you want to read or watch a video review, we have that as well on draw10games.com. We also have a fun, lighthearted, kind of funny playthrough that you can also watch as well. Again, check out our website at draw10games.com, and you can leave us a comment on our Facebook page, facebook.com/draw10games, or you can follow us on Periscope and see us do some behind the scenes playing and comments on new games that we get in for review. You can follow us on Periscope at Draw10Games. Bye! Thank you so much!